Awesome, there we go. Thank you. Good evening, Dayton. Welcome to the regular planning board meeting on this Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, just by way of reminder, this is a public meeting being video and audio recorded for cable and YouTube broadcast. So confirm the next meeting for
17.
Wednesday, January 17th, 2024, 7 p.m. And on to the first action, agenda item here is a site plan review for Zero Elm Street LLC, map 20, lot 84, tac 4, for storage facility. Sir?
Good evening.
Good evening.
For the record, now, Zach Fuzina. So we, I've obviously been running you a few different times on this project now. Basically been waiting on, we're going back and forth with the review engineer on some minor comments. We have provided the board with updated site plans that address their comments. And I believe there was actually there was in the last set of plans, there was really nothing that changed other than the note on the plan. They wanted us to spell out where the grass area was going to be on the plan versus the trees. So if we put a note on the plan and that it needed to be loam and seeded. So there's a note on the erosion plan for that. But other than that, the plan hasn't changed since then. The only reason why we're here before you tonight, other than obviously looking for approval, is one of the only comment that came up that we're still a little bit in limbo on. And I spoke to my client about is we are proposing underground chambers for recharge purposes of. And there's very little ways of getting access to those, and basically what happens is if they overtop and put and we have a detail on the plan, there's a Y overflow on the gutter. They'll overtop in a big storm, and overtop in the parking lot, and then go into the basement. And what they're looking for is a way to be able to maintain those underground chambers. We're only proposing these chambers to try to meet what's called recharge, to meet stormwater management standards. So we were kind of going back and forth with the review engineer on it. And I spoke with my client and I said, there's a few different ways to try to handle it, but none of them are cheap. And honestly, none of them are even easy to, even with these changes, to be able to actually get into these chambers and try to maintain them is nearly impossible. So my client asked me to come in front of the board and at least ask what the board would like to do. If we could just, because again, I've proposed thousands of these types of chambers in parking lots and just the way I have it now, and it's always functioned fine. But again, I get it. It's not that he's wrong and we're not arguing with him, but we felt as though instead of going back and forth a bunch, we figured we'd come into the board and talk to you.
Okay, thank you. And that's looking at the comments and the responses here on the packages the gentlemen have. This was, as engineers stated in the response, section 4337 of the subdivision rules and regs. That was a pre-treatment not required for roof runoff since it was considered clean by the Mass Stormwater Handbook. That's what you're talking about. Right?
That is correct.
And then using this as a rationale, the engineer has drawn the conclusion that access for clearing debris of the underground stormwater chambers is required since such appurtenances are normally built as part of the pre-treatment component of the underground chambers. And the concept of roof runoff being clean from the standpoint of the Mass Stormwater Handbook is true as it relates strictly to regulatory compliance for the sole issuance of TSS removal. I guess I forget what TSS stands for, but that's
Total suspended solids.
right. It's anything in the water.
Yes.
However, as a practical matter, it is entirely possible that during the life of the system, organics and other debris could find their way into the chamber system, eventually clogging it. Without adequate maintenance access, the system would have to be excavated to perform maintenance. And the peer review engineer recommended that the engineer make provisions for adequate maintenance access. So, you're recommending the Y fitting as being how they could? get it?
Well, that's not actually an access for, so there are inspection ports that you could put on the chambers, in which they would get put to grade, but they're small. They're not getting, you can get in there with like,
It's a 6-inch thing, right?
it's very small. You get in there with like a pressure washer and try to hose it down, but you're not gonna get in there. I mean, these things are a couple feet tall, so even with main access into it, you're not getting in there. It's nearly impossible. So it really is a difficult situation. You know, you can get in it to see where the water, the idea for those inspection reports is really just to witness water level, and make sure it's functioning properly. That's really about it. You know, you could put, so the ways around this, you could put manholes, you could put what's called a isolator roll. You could put 2 additional manholes on either side, and that will allow you access to one of the rows. But again, you still can't get in there to
The whole thing.
so I have seen it done before. I haven't had good luck with it. My thought process is like, it's always been, it's clean water. You're basically just coming off the roof and it's going in. And like I said, it's not, the biggest thing is they're looking for a fail safe. If something were to happen, what's gonna happen? It's gonna overtop, it's gonna come out that Y, overflow in the gutter. It's gonna go onto the parking lot, and then it's gonna go into the basin anyway. Where it originally is, you know, where it was designed to go.
Got it.
So it has been designed to handle that.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where we're at. It's my clients, like, might as well talk and see what they say. Cause otherwise I could have been going back and forth multiple times more.
Is there any kind of filtration upstream from that to prevent? And like going in?
Like a strainer in the Y or something, like some sort of like,
And you could put the screen, on the downspout to stop like big, organics from leaves and stuff like that from getting in there. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I think we have notes on the plan about the wire mesh on the downspout.
Okay,
To
Gutter guards or something
It's a
like
gutter
that.
guard, exactly. Yeah, there's multiple different ways of doing it, but yeah, they usually, a lot of times they'll just fit like a wire mesh thing right in there and it'll stop it.
okay. I did see that on there. Carrie, I don't know if you saw my email about this. Did Jim see this? Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
was on vacation.
Okay, all right. So I didn't know if you had a chance to look at that in particular because, okay. All right, I understand. Okay, so the other, I guess that's one big item. Obviously, you went right to biggest item on my list. The other one was, there was supposed to be a fire department email. In your response that you said that you provided it to the planning board. I don't think we saw that.
Did we get that?
Yeah, we sent an email to Jim, I believe that I forwarded it along to you and from Fire Chief,
Is that
Jim.
the first meeting?
No, it was recently. I can see if I can find it. Trying to search on my notes.
Yeah, I went looking at it. I think that might have it did come to us and. Yeah.
I sent it on December 12th. I'm gonna send it right now from Chief Chris Magai. I probably absolutely annihilated his name and I'm sorry. Mr. Zager, the site was reviewed when it was at the planning board, does not meet the ability to enter and exit. It is also to be noted to not have any issue with regards to apparatus maneuverability. The site also has access to an adequate water supply on the roadway. So basically saying he doesn't need, because one of the questions was, is there maneuverability? Is it allowed, can you get around it? He's saying yes. And then the other question was, even though we're not supplying water to the site, because it's dry storage, would a hydrant need to be provided at the entrance for access for them in case a fire were there? And he's saying he has adequate hydrant in a location in the vicinity there.
And so email from December 12th, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the other thing too, you make mention of an architectural plan that's going to be provided.
Yes,
Okay.
I will get that. So I actually believe I printed it. I might not have. Did I not put it in there today?
Sorry, what was that? I missed that part.
Our architectural plan.
Architectural plan.
And again, it's just, I don't know if I did, I can definitely get that to you. It's literally just it's just a prefab metal building.
Yeah,
So it's not like it has a floor plan in the units and it has a kind of just like a colored, front. It's not specific of this building, it's just kind of in general.
I only make this mention because it's specifically called out here and you said you'd provide, and I couldn't.
I know I printed it. I think I may have forgotten to put it in there.
Put it tonight.
I will make sure that I get that to you.
Okay, all right, so we,
I apologize. I might even be able to find it in my email. 'Cause I know
all
I
right,
have.
so we need the email architectural plan we think we have, or we're gonna get. And then I guess the subdivision rules and regs item, but those are my items. I don't know, gentlemen, if you have any other,
I don't have any.
anything further?
No.
You throw some,
I mean, my only, I guess it's not a crucial item, but we spoke about the, I guess, the forestation or basically blocking the headlights from the residents, that there's woods there and whatnot, but are they evergreens where in the winter they would still block just like they would in the summer, or in the winter, is that gonna be an issue?
Yeah, so I mean, again, the building's set back over 100 feet, so there's a good significant buffer there. That meets that zoning requirement. Yeah, there will definitely be less vegetation for sure. But the other thing is too, is the site is built up. On the road, so it'll be, you know what I mean? It's not like it's gonna be like where all the vegetation is down low. It's not there down low on those trees up front, so it'll be up high, so there'll definitely be more branches and what have you, but no, to say that there's gonna be, adequate screening. In the winter, there's definitely gonna be less, for sure.
Mhm.
But again, the idea is to maintain all that natural vegetation, and I'd hate to rip that down to put, screening that, it's, again, I don't even know how it would even interfere with anything. And the other thing is too, is the what's the word I'm looking for? The amount of traffic at the site is gonna be so minimal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be very, very minimal. It's not like we're dealing with hundreds of trucks coming in and out of here. It's very minimal. But again, we're open for discussion. I mean, this isn't, we're in an argument by any means. This is more just.
yeah, sure.
On auction day though, there is a lot of vehicles there. When they're having their auctions.
No, this is
Oh,
not.
no.
Outside.
We're talking about the storage facility,
facility.
not the auction. I'm talking about we're talking about Elm Street.
Oh, Elm Street, okay.
Yes, yeah, so this is the storage building up on the hill there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm just reading about the other one.
Understand.
You represent them too?
I'm sorry.
Do you represent them also?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's easy to confuse me because I'm here a few times.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, just a question, the lighting on the buildings, do you know if it's dark sky lighting or is it just?
It's dark sky lighting, I believe.
Okay.
Yes. And, but again, it's gonna have the shields that,
Deflected down?
Yeah. The idea is to not attract, you don't wanna have too much light on it either, especially for this type of use.
That's all I had.
okay.
What do you?
No, I'm
Anything
good.
further?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I'm not sure how the rest of the board feels, but I know that we still want the architectural plan, and I'd like to dig out that email, make sure we have that, and we just found it, excellent. And do you have the architectural plan, or is that something we probably still need to get, right?
Architectural.
Okay, okay,
I can
So-
try to track that down, but
okay, we can get there from after. The subdivision rules and reg item, I don't see any issues with that. I don't know how the rest of you gentlemen feel about that. I mean, this seems reasonable, what they're proposing, and nothing is jumping out at me as a major concern, especially with how it's being used on this property.
I'd agree.
Okay. So. I guess we can, I don't want to approve it without the architectural plan. So it would be good to have it as a contingent upon receiving it. That's something we can do.
Make a,
Condition.
you can make it a condition.
Condition, yeah, so, at this point, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve, the site plan for Zero Elm Street, map 20, lot 84-4 for the storage facility, conditional upon receiving the architectural plan.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion made and second. Any discussion before we take it to a vote? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Five ayes. All right, so we'll get that plan from you, but otherwise we're good to go.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And we're also, are we signing anything now or?
No.
No,
I
okay,
don't
just
have
checking.
anything to sign yet.
Nothing to sign, just checking. It's not happy to come over. The next item on the agenda, I assume is also you, yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, you want to sit down and get back on your other?
Take a break.
All right, so this one is Truck and Iron Traders LLC at 1886 County Street, map 17, lot 84, office showroom building for machinery auctions and approval of, says approval of peer review scope of services, but we received the peer review, right? We looked at.
Review.
And so we actually are, and you haven't responded to anything at this point, right?
So actually, yeah, so we got the response, the review letter.
Yeah.
We started to dive through it. And I was planning on tonight, the applicant and the owner were planning on being here tonight
Mhm.
and they unfortunately can't make it now.
Okay,
So they asked if I could, we were originally, there's a lot of items on there that need to be discussed as far as how to move forward.
Mhm.
Because as you know, it's a developed site, and we need before, it's not decisions that we can really make without having the board, help us along.
okay.
And they recommended to continue to the next meeting until, if that way they could be here.
Do we have time in the next meeting to put this on? Okay, so, yeah, so this is for those familiar listening online here. This is for the car auction, that's existing on Route 138 County Street. And the planner, the developers actually putting a office showroom building, making it more formalized in the middle. So it's not just a big lot, full of equipment. So that's what this whole thing's about. So, you've got the peer review inputs, you've got, I think this wasn't the one where we provided additional inputs. I just echoed a lot of what they said, because there were a lot of, you got theirs, you got my input as well, right?
Yes, yeah, Kerry was nice enough to send along your.
Is there a lot of questions where they said a recommendation that the planning board asked for this? So I said, I'm asking for this.
Yeah.
So just so you knew, adjudicating their comments, so you know exactly what we were requesting. So,
Yeah, so and again, a lot of those things we've got to talk about, and I wanted them here so that we could discuss it all in one.
that's fair.
And that's why, because I could discuss it, and I'm prepared to discuss it, but they couldn't be.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Anything further on that? Okay, so I'd like to entertain a motion to continue the site plan review for Truck and Iron Traders LLC to the January 17th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, awesome. All right, thank you.
Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, so, next item on the agenda is a site plan review, for Vanessa, how do you say her last name? Anybody know?
Canoed, I would think.
Hoyes,
Sorry, wrong item.
Hoyes, Hoayes.
Tell her what you want.
So Vanessa at 2276 Cedar Street, for map 14, lot 26, tax 1, used car license. I'm in a butter, so I have to recuse myself, however. And the applicant is not present. So there's a large contingent of people here. Is the applicant on the phone? On the Zoom meeting? 2276 Cedar Street. Going once, going twice. Nobody. So this evening, a large contingent from the neighborhood is present, as well as being on the Zoom meeting. So I think because the applicant's not here, recommending that you organize your thoughts, send them to Carrie. You had other plans as well to kind of organize. Unfortunately, without the applicant here, I think it's best that we continue this to the next meeting. So in that case, I don't want to recuse myself because we can make a motion to continue. So I understand there's a lot of concerns with this going in, so I want to make sure everybody has a chance to be heard. including myself. I will recuse myself and I'll be part of the audience for when that does finally get discussed here. But if anything changes between now and the 17th, if there is a request for further continuance, do our best to get the information out as soon as possible. You all know how to get a hold of us, you know how to get hold of me. All right, so at that, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue this item for the 2276 Cedar Street to the January 17th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion made in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Sorry for having y'all come out, but thank you for coming.
They don't show up for the second thing. Again, or is it?
It'll likely be continued again. Yeah, we can't dismiss it, in court. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a gavel. Here it is. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next item on the agenda, the site plan review for Derek Banud, 508 Customs and Collision Incorporated, 1974 County Street, map 17, lot 79, tac 2 for the storage area. Unfortunately, the applicant provided information to the peer review, and the peer review engineer wrote back asking for additional information, additional content, and they have yet to respond. So they are also not present tonight. So we want to stick this on the 17th as well,
We can move it to the 17th.
and then see what happens. If we don't hear back, we can continue it again. So getting really good at this. Somebody want to make a motion to continue site plan review for the 508 Customs and Collision Incorporated to the 17th.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, a second.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next item on the agenda, approval of meeting minutes for December 20th, 2023.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second, just want to let folks know that I wasn't present for the meeting, but I did watch the YouTube video and reviewed the minutes. So that being said, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 5 ayes to the minutes, and we have one item of correspondence. Should I read that, Carrie? Do you want to read that?
You can read it. I'll read it.
Go for it, ma'am.
So we received a letter from Clearway Energy Group on December 21st, 2023, informing the board to please be advised that on November 13th, 2023, pursuant to that certain membership interest purchase and sale agreement by Home Solar DG LLC, an affiliate of Clearway Energy Group LLC Clearway, and P9 Solar LLC Clean Capital. Clean Capital is the owner and operator of MACS Dayton LLC, the entity owning array located at 1420 and 1522 William Street, Dayton, Mass. Please update the town records to accurately reflect P9 Solar LLC as owner and Clean Capital is the current operator of the solar array. And then they provided contact information for the construction management, project management, and asset management.
Thank you, Mr. History Day. Any other further correspondence? Is there any other public input?
Nope.
Everybody dropped off. Okay. Hearing none, I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Make
I'll second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hi, cable, YouTube, Facebook, internet.
Just the